Hey everyone, I'm Ryan, you're watching 60 Cycle Hum, and in this video, I'm finally getting around to something that I should have done a long time ago. I've had this box open, sitting next to my desk for who knows how long now. Is there a shipping date on the label? Here we go. October 19th, 2021. That's how long this has been sitting by my desk. But what's inside it, you ask? Well, it's a replacement spring pan for my full-size Surfy Bear Metal that I have here. This is a spring reverb unit, a spring reverb pedal, in air quotes, that has a full-size spring pan in it. The same model spring pan that you find in Fender outboard spring reverb units that you use to get that classic surfy, drippy sound. Well, Surfy Industries partnered up with Accutronics to make a spring pan that more closely models the original pans, the original sounds that you got out of original vintage Fender 6G15 outboard spring reverb units. So they had a bunch of them made, and now all their full-size reverbs like this come shipped with them standard. Of course, you can buy them aftermarket, but mine has the original spring pan, which should be pretty much the same as what's in my reissue Fender unit back there. So finally, let's crack this thing open and see if there's any difference in the sound. I guess I'm gonna have to do some sound samples with the full-size Surfy Bear first. All right, don't put the scissors away yet, Ryan, it's not open. I'm wondering if there will be a visual difference between the two units when I take a look at them. Well, there it is. Let's pull the foam out. We've got two long springs in there. I mean, visually to me, it looks exactly like what I would expect. I have no idea what component change there was to make it different in any way. They claim that it's got a shorter reverb trail on it, so you get more of that present drip without so much of the trail. That's the difference, they claim, between the reissue modern spring pans and this new Surfy pan, which it says on the label right there. But we've got to set an example to have a point of comparison. So let's plug everything in and see what this sounds like stock. I'm going to use my Fender American Vintage 2 66 Jazzmaster into the 2 Princeton's rig, of course. There's my dry signal. I'm actually not running into my pedal board at all right now, so hopefully this doesn't go out of tune, because I don't have a tuner hooked up. Here it is on. Sounds awesome to me. I don't know how much better it could sound with the new pan, but I guess we're gonna find out. So anyways, let's do a couple little drip tests here for a point of comparison. Here is the low E palm muted on the bridge pickup. Here is an A minor on the 5th fret, open strum. Staccato strum. A little bit of this. And a little bit of this. Okay, we'll see how different it is, and we'll see if I can remember all those things that I just did after I swapped the pan. And for the sake of remembering, I'm going to take a picture of the knob placement. We've got 8, 5, 5, 9. There it is. The original pan. An RA 4A B3 C1B. Let's see if there's any visual differences here, pan to pan. So off the bat, the only difference that I can spot is that the string center points seem swapped between these two. I don't think that matters at all. But this guy here on the original, it's got a little fat guy there, and this one's a bit skinnier. I wonder if that is the component difference. It very well could be. Glad I took the picture. The mix knob got a little bit tweaked while I had it upside down like that. Here we go, moment of truth. We'll do the muted low E on the bridge pickup. I don't know if I'm imagining it, but the trail does sound like it's less present. Also sounds a little bit warmer, a little bit darker to me. But I'm not doing a side to side right now, so I could be tripping. Here is that A minor sustained. One of these guys. And some of this. Try messing around with the settings a little bit. I mean, it sounds good. It still sounds great. I'm trying to figure out if it sounds different. I do think it sounds a little bit darker. Still plenty of drip. That does sound like a shorter spring splash to me. Especially with that mixer all the way up. I think what this is buying me is the option to have the mixer higher. Because a longer spring trail would kind of muddy up and kind of overtake your playing a bit. So as you get more drip maybe? A bit over the top. Do something a little bit more moody and mellow here. just listen to that spring. Yeah, it sounds great. But does it sound different enough that some of you are going to run out and swap the pans in your Surfy Bears? That's my question. There was something else in the box that I've waited over a year to check out. They sent a pedal, the Blossom Point. There it is, the Blossom Point. I want to check this out too. If I remember correctly, this is a brown facer. It makes your signal sound closer to a brown face Fender amplifier. I think it does it by way of like compression. I'm sorry, Surfy Industries. I'm sorry it took me so long to get around to this. Oh man, the past year has been crazy. Maybe I should pull up the information on this so I'm just not flying into it willy-nilly. As big fans of the so-called brown-faced Fender amplifiers of the early 60s, 1960 to 1963, we have long been thinking of producing an enhancing device to recreate the key features that make those legendary amps so unique. We also wanted to be able to capture that sound with the minimum amount of controls, and so the Blossom Point was born. The Blossom Point emulates the special fat effect that is obtained by pushing the tubes and the volume of a brown-faced Fender Showman just before distortion. It finds that sweet spot that Dick Dale was calling the Blossom Point of maximum tube compression that changes the entire sound. From its power to the sustain of the guitar and the reverb, the Blossom Point is perfect for the gigging artist who appreciates that sound or is used to playing through one of those old amplifiers. As we know, for live shows and touring, you can be presented with different backline amps, and traveling lighter and avoiding bringing a brown-faced amplifier on the road is always a plus. It saves you money and your back. With the Blossom Point, you are secure in knowing you can get the sound you need from any amplifier, even with the coldest ones, with affordable ease and portability. It's got input for signal level attenuation. Some guitars have very hot pickups, and the signal level can bring to distortion. The compression stage of the circuit uses control to lower the input volume just enough to suit the sound. Okay. Output uses control to increase the signal level from 0 to plus 6 dB. The unity gain is around middle position, so you can also use the pedal as a little boost. The reason why we included a boost is because the effect is true bypass, so this control would help in case there is a difference in volume with the effect on or off. Presence. So one of the ways brown-faced amps are unique is the adjustable presence control, which later became the bright switch when the blackface series came out in 1964. This control generally increases the high and mid-range frequencies, allowing the sound to be wider, fuller, and crisper while shaping the tone in a very particular way. Interesting. So it sounds like it's a hybrid of a compression, a preamp, and some sort of tonal shift with that presence control. Oh, I'll listen to that. It's definitely clearer sounding. Kind of muddy there and dark. Wow, that really pops. It definitely sounds like there's some compression there. I like it already, and I haven't turned any knobs at all. It's a little bit bright. I hear that fat sound. Watch, this is going to be the missing piece to my rig. Something that I should have been using for years. And it's been sitting in a box by my desk. Is this gonna be my new favorite thing? All right, okay. So the input is supposed to be the input into the compression, or maybe the compression ratio or something like that? Or how hard you're hitting the compression? Yeah, there's some grit there. Yeah, there's some grit there for sure. All right, let's try some reverb now. Like I'm hitting that clipping. I might have the volume too high on the Surfy Bear. There we go. Let's experiment with that. Yeah, there's a rumbling happening right there. Try it without. I'm gonna have to spend some real personal time with this to figure this out. I'm definitely gonna throw it on my board when my band has practices. Historically, I'm getting my band back together. Dinosaur Ghost has been practicing again, and historically, I've used my Acoustic Control 150s, which are vintage solid state amps, for that band. And I'm wondering what this will do for that. Will it give me the little bit of kind of like saggy compression that I might have been missing with those amps? Will it push me in a more classic direction? It definitely has this compression and EQ filtering sort of vibe to it. I want to hear it in a mix because it definitely, it's fattening it up. It definitely is doing the fattening thing. Will that work in the mix? Will it bring that clarity? that I'm hearing here in room. I like it and I'm compelled by it. I'm looking forward to seeing how it acts in a band mix for sure. So anyways, huge thanks to Surfy Bear, to Surfy Industries for sending me this stuff out over a year ago. I am so sorry it's taken me this long. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude and nasty comments. Support us on Patreon. Buy a shirt if you're naked and stay grounded. Bye everybody.